In this video, I will show you how to calculate unknown lengths of right triangles. So they're telling us that the measure of angle A is 15 degrees. Let's go ahead and add that into the picture. And they're telling us that side BC is 8. So we'll mark that here. We're supposed to find the length of AC and AB. I like to use variables when I do this, so I'm going to call AC X and I'll call AB Y. But I'm going to just do one at a time. So let's start by finding AC. So I'm just going to put an X right here. Now we need to label both of these sides. So I always like to start with the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is here across from the 90-degree angle. Now if you circle the angle that you're given and draw an arrow, that arrow is going to be always pointing at the opposite side. The other side is the adjacent side. So notice that the two things that we have are the 8 and the X. The hypotenuse is just all empty. There's nothing going on here. So I really could just erase this. So we have opposite and we have adjacent, 8 and X. There's a little acronym that I like to use to remind me of all the definitions of the three trig functions. And the acronym is SOHCAHTOA. Alright, this stands for sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. So I'm noticing that we have opposite and adjacent, so that means we're going to be using the tangent function today. So let's go ahead and set up the tangent function, and we say tangent of the angle, so tangent of 15, is equal to opposite over adjacent. That's going to be 8 over X. Alright, when the variable is in the denominator like this, the way you solve it is by swapping these. Alright, that is legal. Memorize this. When the variable is in the bottom, you swap. So the new equation will be X equals 8 over tangent 15. And this is something you can just put in your calculator. Alright, 8 over tangent 15. Make sure your calculator is in degree mode. We want decimals. So that's 29.9. Okay, so that is why the answer is 29.9. Now let's find y. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to erase the x so it does not distract us. And this time we want to find AB, which we will label y. Okay, remember that this is the hypotenuse across from the 90-degree angle. So this time around we have opposite and hypotenuse, 8 and y. This time the adjacent is doing nothing. There's nothing going on here. So we can just erase that, focus on opposite and hypotenuse. Well, opposite and hypotenuse, now we're talking about the sine function, because sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So we can set up the sine function by doing sine of the angle, and that's going to equal opposite over hypotenuse. That's going to be 8 over y. Again, notice that we have this variable in the denominator. So whenever you have the variable in the denominator, you will solve it by swapping these. So the y will end up over here, and then we will have 8 over sine 15. And you can just put this in your calculator. So you will do 8 divided by sine 15. And that is 30.9. So that's why the answer to that one is 30.9.